you're a superhero.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the BROxFire Podcast. I am your host, LJ Regine. To my right is your other host,
William Fuller.
William Fuller. And we do have somebody else with us today.
Look at this.
Oh my fucking God.
They just let anybody in here.
They just let anyone in this.
You know, the door was
fucking
open.
gym.
I came in.
Yeah,
It's true.
And we're like, have a seat, bud.
Who are you?
Yeah, introduce yourself. This is your opportunity to say who you are.
Yeah.
Ty Richardson.
Hello.
Wait a
Dr.
minute.
Ty Richardson.
Wait a minute. Is it Ty Richardson or is it Dr. Ty Richardson?
I always feel better when you say it.
Oh. He wants other people to say
Shit.
he's the doctor.
Okay. I didn't know we were going to go there.
Thank you for joining us today. You're our first official guest of the BROxFire Podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm
How do you
honored to
feel?
be here.
How do you feel?
I feel great. I feel excited.
All right,
I think
awesome.
what you guys are doing is great, and I'm glad I can participate.
Yes.
Oh, look, he's so cute with his little hat,
I
too.
know,
Look
too.
at that.
I'm really proud of him.
He's like a little fucking schoolboy over here. Where's my newspaper, Ty?
Lord knows I spent a lot of time in school, so
I bet.
You actually, to get the doctor in front of it,
yes,
definitely need to wear the schoolboy hat because you were there for a while.
I paid for this.
And you're still
So,
paying.
how do we know Ty?
How
So
do
the
we
viewers
know?
out there.
I met Ty at a chamber event.
Oh, the Chamber of Commerce, Greater Fort Lauderdale. Chamber
Yeah,
of
that's how
Commerce.
I met, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
met at the
Rising Leaders.
Rising Leaders
Actually, it was a
event.
Rising Leaders.
Right? Would you look at that?
Before I
Full
was
circle, full circle.
Yeah.
Yes, so we all serve on the Rising Leaders Board, or I'm sorry, the Rising Leader, well, it's a board, but it's the council, the Rising Leaders Council at the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Ty is our vice chair, so he is amazing and works his ass off. If you know this guy, in anything that he decides he's going to commit to, he's 100% committed, and that's one of the reasons why we had him on today, because he's just a fucking rock star.
Right.
Thank
And he has to, we tell him that all the time, so if he didn't show, that'd just be weird.
It's because he has something called significance, which we're going to talk about later in the podcast. Both of these guys have significance, so
Yes.
we'll talk about that a little
I'm
later.
always here.
So I picked up the drink because,
It's a thing.
it's a thing, and, I didn't drink enough last night, so might as well keep the
Just keep
party
it going. They do say, when you get drunk to, what is it, something the hair of the dog.
Yeah, hair of the dog.
That's just gross.
I don't understand what that is. Like,
So I looked it up. What it means is that when way back in the day, if you got bit by something that had rabies, like a dog or whatever, you had to go find that dog, take the hair from it, mix it, and then eat it, and that would help you.
That
cure
sounds like
rabies.
an old wives' tale.
Yes. Well, that's probably why they died a lot earlier. Because first of all, they had
and if
rabies.
they did that, they should.
And then they died.
And so, anyways, to that being said, you are
Yeah, I picked up the drink, and then I put it down because I didn't want to be presumptuous.
So today is my selection, and I chose Hendrick's gin and tonic, but it's not just a typical gin and tonic. It's a quick mix that you can do if you want to kind of get away from the whole typical gin and tonic. I added basil and lemon. You shake it up, pour it with some tonic, and that's what we got today, boys.
Awesome.
So,
Well,
cheers. Cheers to you on that.
Cheers to
Distant
you.
Cheers. True.
Now, we know Ty has been feeling a little bit under the weather,
Yes.
so he may not be drinking as much as us, but he had a sip. He was contractually obligated to take a sip.
Yeah, that's part of the rules. So if you join this and you don't drink, you probably
Get
won't
the
be
fuck
on.
out.
Yeah.
Well, it's not hard to twist my arm on Hendrix. I love Hendrix.
Yeah,
It's my
this is
favorite
actually
gin.
really
That's-
good.
And that's why I was like, okay, he's going to be our guest.
Yes.
I know he enjoys Hendrix as much as I do.
He's so thoughtful, this
Yeah.
guy.
He is.
I
he
think of
is.
our guest. I do.
He is.
So speak-
Hendrix.
No, go ahead.
Hendrix is it's an amazing gin. It's one of the gins I fell in love with before I went to Scotland last year and learned that there was a gin festival.
Oh, that sounds like a great time.
Gin festival.
A gin
Is this a
festival
story that
over-
you had?
Yeah. With over 50 gins, and I mean everything from Irish gin to gin that's produced in Iceland, milk gin. Like there's so many different kinds of gins, and they all taste different, and they're all you can have them straight or with a mixed as a mixed
And
drink,
you can get drunk on all of them. Right?
and you can totally get drunk on all
Perfect.
of them.
So funny story about gin.
Yes.
When I was younger,
I
obviously-
hate gin. But yes, continue your funny story.
So I did not know for the longest time. I thought Jin was a character in a fighting game. What was it?
What?
There's a
Street
game.
Fighter?
No, another one.
Mortal Kombat?
Nope. There's another fighting game that my friend Tekken.
Okay.
And there's a Tekken game, and the guy's name was Jin. So I thought that was Jin. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, wait, there's actually an alcohol called gin.
Wow.
So I tried it.
Growing up with Will Fuller.
Just growing up. I grew up in Maine. There wasn't much to do but play
did.
video games.
And drink gin. Okay.
Drink later, once you figured out what it was. Speaking of...
So just to say, you hate whiskey. I hate gin, so we're now even.
Yeah.
The score has been even from last
Welcome.
week.
But
Yes.
but LJ, don't you love this gin?
This gin actually does taste pretty good, and I'm happy to be having it, although
Does
I
it
feel like
taste
I'm going to
different?
puke, and that's my own fault from drinking like an animal last night.
Yeah,
and
but how does it taste, though? I mean, is with the basil and the...
How'd it taste? It tastes pretty good.
Okay, cool. How does it taste? What the fuck was that? All right. So, as you all know, when we drink, we like to ask questions. This is great because we're going to include Ty in these questions.
We are going to include
We're going to learn a
Ty.
lot about Ty.
We're very inclusive.
So, Ty, how this works is I'm going to ask a question. You just got to be 100% honest, or you can lie and just make sure we don't know about it, however you want to do it. But we're going to start with LJ, then it's going to go to you, and then I'll answer the question. Sound cool?
Sure.
Always starts with LJ.
Always starts with
Always.
Everything starts with LJ.
All right, first question.
Yes.
Which would you pick? Being a world-class attractive, a genius, or famous for doing something great?
Are those three options?
Yes, those are your
all right.
only options.
You kind of stuttered, Will. Can you say them one more time?
Being a world-class attractive.
Okay. A world-class attractive.
Didn't say a, just saying being a world-class. A genius,
A genius.
or famous for doing something great.
Well, I already am pretty attractive, so I'd say genius, and then that will also lead into making me famous for doing something great because my
He
genius
never
will come
can.
up
He
with
never
something.
can answer the fucking question.
No, I can't.
So I would say genius as well, just because I feel like a genius can make everything else work. So yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say world-class attractive.
Oh, really? You?
Yep. Here's
Surprise,
why.
surprise.
I can think of some like athletes or some models that are doing really well in life,
Yeah.
and they don't need to be smart. They don't need to talk, and they're making tons of money.
Well,
So,
but you know what though? Those are the ones that have the
it's
horror
my
stories.
choice, Ty. It's my fucking
Don't
choice.
try to convince him out of his choices. Okay.
Okay. All right, this one's gonna be a little tough. I have a feeling that LJ's not gonna like this question, so this is why I selected
Do
it.
you want to ask him it first, and then I'll answer second? For this
No,
one?
either way, you're just gonna hate this question
Okay.
no matter what. So, name 3 celebrities you most admire.
Why am I going to hate this question?
Because usually you have trouble with answering 2, so you're gonna. This is 3. I need 3.
3? Oh, yeah, that's fucking annoying. I don't know, dude.
I knew he was gonna say that.
Like,
Shouldn't 3. It's fucking 3.
3? Can I just...
Nope. 3.
Do you have your 3?
Yes.
Okay, you should go first.
No,
then, because-
you're the first one. Go. Think of 3. I think I know. 3 people.
Okay, Chris Helmsworth, because he plays Thor.
There we
and
go. I knew
He's
that was
very
the-
attractive and very smart and good at what he does.
Boom.
And he made a great career for himself.
Good job.
I don't know, Steven Spielberg, because he is an amazing director and has made some amazing films. And then I'm going to say Kim Kardashian West for...
Whoa, what? Kim Kardashian?
You can't talk him out. Hey, the rules were you can't talk him out of his choices.
Okay, and here's why. There's
I'm
nobody that has
interested.
done more with less than Kim Kardashian West. She has turned a sex tape into a billion-dollar career, so good for you.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not even commenting on
Okay.
that.
You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can comment or not. I don't care. That's my answer.
Kardashian, that is like-
I actually like that choice
Thank you.
because I feel like the Kardashians in a whole are a success story for creating a society or creating a market that didn't exist before.
100%.
Yeah.
Or tapping into something.
Holy shit! I'm gonna get a nightmare right now.
Dude, I mean,
It's business.
It's
It's
business,
business.
man.
Sure.
And their mom would say that.
Yeah,
right
they
off
took
the bat.
Champion, which
Chris-
everyone was like the ghetto clothes, and now they wear Champion, and everyone's like,
Kris
yeah,
Jenner would
I want it.
absolutely say and support. Like, I mean, she made them. They have no talent. She made them
They're not talented, but
a
they have good
billion-dollar
instincts.
franchise. Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
marketing
Okay,
instincts.
cool. Who are your 3?
My 3 would be Richard Branson.
Oh.
I feel like
Not surprised.
he did an
He said
amazing
celebrities.
job.
So
No,
that's
yeah.
did say celebrities.
Yes, I did.
So I'm okay with this answer, but I would have gone into like business area. Like I was gonna say, Steve Jobs, but fine.
He's a celebrity, though.
Okay. Whatever. You can go ahead, Ty.
Right? Anybody
picked
who
the
owns their island
Kardashian.
is really epic, I think. So that's Richard Branson. I like the guy on Shark Tank, the black guy, FUBU guy. What's his name?
I don't know. He's your celebrity.
No. Damon Johns. Damon Johns, he is a celebrity because he's on Shark Tank.
Perfect.
But I
Great
think
answer.
He was. I went to a lecture with him once, and he actually talked about his story. Obviously, creating FUBU from nothing and becoming a worldwide brand.
It's awesome.
But he also had the opportunity to invest in the Kardashians when they first got out of the gate.
Did he?
And he saw the foresight in what they would become.
And what's your third one?
Yeah, yep.
So
Third.
So the third one is a little bit of a struggle. I can see why you stop at 2, LJ.
Okay.
It's hard to come up with 3 on the spot.
I know. Fucking well.
Even when I'm trying to stretch like this to get it. But I would say a third celebrity that I pretty much admire is Nene Leakes.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I like this.
And-
He went really like.
He did.
Yep.
And why do you feel that way?
I feel like when I look at where she started in her career,
Yep.
she was really tore up from the floor up. I mean, she was beat up.
Tore up from the floor up.
Toe up from the flow
I
up?
feel better when you say it like that.
That is hilarious.
Cody, would you like to pick up some bitches?
But she's now one of the highest grossing net worth members on her series.
Amazing.
And she's done that over a series of seasons, defining herself and making sure that her value is constantly seen and ingrained in the show.
Yeah. Those were better answers than me because he stretched outside of
Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm just going to stick to
What are your 3?
My first one would be Billy Joel. I think he was one of the celebrities that I always looked up to.
Boring.
Doesn't matter if it's boring to you. It's not boring to me because he started from, nothing, basically working his way up. He had a talent to play the piano. He always wanted to play the piano. He did not like to sing or write songs.
Would you say that he started from the bottom and now he's here?
I would say he started from the bottom and now he's at the top. And I don't get what you're saying on that.
It was a Drake reference. It's fine. We're really good at making song references with each other, as you well know.
I don't get it. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. So he was one of those people that actually, inspired me to want to listen more to music instead of listening to the words, because he would literally write the music and then come up with a song for it, which most people come up with a song and then write music. That's what just made him so awesome. My other person, obviously, is Derek Jeter. I think anybody who tells a teacher when they're a young kid that they want to play for the New York Yankees, and the teacher goes, "What else do you want to be when you grow up?" and he's like, "Nothing. I want to play for the New York Yankees," and he does it. That's just saying to anybody who tries to crush your dream. To just
Well,
say,
he made
"Get
a
out."
decision, a deliberate decision.
Yeah.
And obviously he was skilled. Because if he
Well, he
sucked
made
at
himself
baseball
so.
and
He made
didn't have
himself
hand,
skilled.
He made himself. So.
yeah,
He
but
decided.
hand-eye coordination could be, some people could just lack that. Like some people want to dance, but they really can't.
Well, I mean, I think it's the same thing with Kim Kardashian. She decided she was going to be
wow.
successful.
Don't bring that back.
I mean, it's a great. I mean, it's
Well, in that story, her mom decided she was going to be successful.
Exactly. Like, this is what we're doing. This is
You
what
guys
it
are
is.
going to make me money.
Yes. And what's your third?
My third,
Do you have a fucking novel about this one too?
no, I don't actually. Mine's going to just be really quick. Just a celebrity that I look up to would be Brad Pitt. I just think his whole life, his story, and everything that he's done from start to the top has been great.
From Jen Aniston to Angelina Jolie.
I feel like
Not
this
even
kind
just
of
with the
feeds into that whole
relationship
conversation about
part.
Taylor Swift coming up.
Yeah.
Not even with the relationship part, but just what he does with his money. He makes a lot of money, but he always gives back to the community, so I think that's huge.
Thanks, Will. Isn't that so nice? He's so
Yeah.
nice.
I am. So, next question. I just spit on my screen.
He's going to kill me before the end of this episode.
So, what do you think is the greatest invention of all time? Ooh. Ooh. I just had to do the ooh.
Toilet paper. Where would we be without toilet paper?
In India?
Let me ask you.
That's a great answer. We'd be using our fucking
I
hands.
mean, not everybody uses toilet paper.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
Oh, sorry, bidets then,
Been doing them for a while. They use those.
Apparently,
for
that's
all.
like a thing now. Like people are like Americans are starting to get on the bidet train.
Yeah, I was just watching.
Actually, so there are these newfangled toilets that they actually came out of Japan. They are toilets where you sit on them. They've got buttons at the side, or there's a keypad for it, and they will wash, dry, blow dry, heat,
Jesus fucking
vibrate.
your ass. But they've had them for a while. This is not something
yeah.
like they've had these for a while to the point where now it's like toilet shooting ass point.
No,
10.
like you go into some of these properties on
Toilet
Masola's
shooting
Isles.
Yeah, just
They're
it's like iPhone. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like
I
it's
love it.
now.
No, it's a fully digitized toilet for your butt. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
That's awesome.
So,
So, what's your answer?
Probably that. I think.
Well, no. I mean, I think just the computer. I think the laptop, the PC, the things you can do on that. I mean, I can't imagine a world now. So you know, you used to have to fax, you used to have to PDF files, you used to have to print. You can do all of this stuff on your computer now,
Or your phone?
or your phone,
Yeah.
or your phone. Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
What would you say?
Mine, this is a toss up for me.
Okay.
So internet obviously has come a long way. The shit that you can do, you don't even
Yep.
need to be smart anymore.
Yep.
You can Google the shit out of it. But I really underestimate Bluetooth. I think that's so cool because I was running the other day and I remember when I used to run and use your hands and you get caught on the wire.
Yeah.
And your freaking headphones come on and you're like, son of a bitch! And you gotta put them back in. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Everything is just, you can leave your phone in your car, which I don't recommend because people will steal it. But I'm just saying you can leave it wherever you want, and
Yep.
then you got Bluetooth on your watch. I
Yep.
mean, it's pretty cool. I
No,
like
that's
hitting
a good
shit.
answer, yeah.
Talk my hands.
It's okay. It's because
what
we're Italian.
Yes, we do. I fucking elbowed this shit. Okay, next question. All right, we got two more.
Two more.
This one, so I remember the last podcast we had. So
Okay.
this is a boring question to set up for hopefully what you think is a good question.
Okay.
So this one is, what do you like to do on a rainy day?
Ooh.
See, Ty likes this. I like Ty. He's welcome back anytime.
I like to do nothing. Really exciting answer, huh?
Yeah,
no, just
not
like
surprised, really.
sit at home and just fucking veg the fuck out on the couch and play video games, watch movies, TV, just fucking not do shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Which is, it rains a lot here in Florida. Just to let you
Half
know.
the year, right? It's
Half
like
the year it
wet
rains, so
season.
Right.
you like to do nothing.
But that's not what happens all the time on a rainy day. But I imagine on a Sunday, like that's
Okay.
what.
All right.
yeah.
So you imagine a rainy day like okay, go.
Yeah.
So for me, actually, the answer is going to be, it's pretty interesting. I actually like to work out.
Okay.
I feel like
Brings your endorphins
when
up.
there's so many, no, it's like going to the gym, like there's always an excuse not to go to the gym. When it's sunny outside or bright outside or there's something else you could be doing, yeah, you kind of want to do that instead of like go to the gym. But when it's rainy, you don't really have a choice. Like, what are you going to do, right?
Right.
You're going to go to the gym. And it's some of my best workouts are on a rainy day.
Well, whether it's a rainy day or not, if you're a member at BROxFire Fitness, you should always be going to the gym.
And a little plug. And Ty didn't even know. He just set that up for you. He like
know.
threw it up and you just fucking hit it out.
I didn't.
Not to,
So I've actually really, when I saw this question, I actually was excited because I like to go shopping. I like to go shopping, like clothes shopping or whatever. But while I'm driving there, and this is something I do every single time, I listen to songs that sing about the rain. Swear to God. Phil Collins, Wish It Would Rain Now. I'm only happy when it
Do
rains.
you have a soundtrack,
Do you have
like
a playlist?
playlist?
Your
Yep.
rain playlist?
Yeah, I do.
The
Or
rainy
you can
day
do, actually, you
playlist.
know what the beautiful thing about the internet is you can just ask Siri to
We're
play
gonna
songs
share-
about rain.
If you have a podcast, we can put it in the notes and be like, if you want to hear songs for a rainy day, here you go.
Yeah, dude, I'll list them for you. I've got a long list of them. And I think it's so cool because a lot of the songs, if you don't realize, will go to your windshield wipe, the windshield wipers.
Does it really do that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like all these people are going to be outside, except
one?
for Florida. Some Florida rains that are really intense and your wipers are going like crazy. But the majority of the rain.
I love you.
Yeah. You never thought of that, did you?
I never did.
Nope, but now you will.
I don't think many people did.
Nope. It's me. I put it on Facebook one time and
Find
everyone
me
was
an
like,
original
oh my God.
thought in this world.
So the last question.
All right. Better
The
be a
last
fucking
question.
good one, like not
no,
like last
but
time.
it's only a good question if you answer it right. Because the last.
Oh, there's a right way to answer the question.
Well,
I
because
guess.
when I asked about like
Fucking guy.
the language you wanted, we took it to another level. I didn't think we were going to take it that far.
Okay.
So this one could be, and I'm going to end this because it's a really good quote.
Oh, okay.
What is your favorite movie quote and why? Come on, that's fucking good. That's a good question. What? You're shaking your head.
I'm not like I have very short-term memory when it comes to movies.
Honestly, it's
I'll
important.
never let go, Jack. I'll never let go.
And then he fucking lets go. Then she lets go.
Emotionally, she didn't let go. She
Oh,
didn't let
fuck.
go of the lessons that he
I'll
taught her.
never let go. Listen,
in
there's
their
so many
short
ways
time
he could have fit
together.
on that raft.
I'm gonna
Okay.
cheat on this one and steal that.
No.
I'm gonna say the reason it's my favorite quote is because, as we all know, 'cause everybody who saw that movie,
Yeah.
there was fucking space on that door for Jack. He could have made it. He could have made
I
it.
think there was a MythBusters one time that like tried to recreate
Yeah, there
that.
was a shirt. There was a shirt I saw where it was like 4 ways Jack could have
could have
survived.
lived. I'll never let go was her way of saying, "Get the fuck off." the
Dude,
raft."
yeah, like get off,
off.
bitch. Yeah, but that's my point.
No,
like,
but that's when she was like, I got to get the fuck out of here because I'm going to die.
Say,
Yeah.
listen,
And
I
she
got
found
mine. I'm
dude,
done.
Yeah.
fight or flight.
Fight or flight.
Yeah.
She was like, bye-bye.
Deuces. Mine is the Die Hard. It's always my favorite.
What is it?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That's
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
And
That
why,
is-
why is that your favorite?
because it's badass and it's funny, and like before he does anything, like at the end, you know what I'm talking about. You know that part of
Yeah.
That's my favorite, just because.
Sounds
also,
like toxic masculinity
No.
to me, Will.
but when I went over to Europe, where nobody like spoke English really
Or
that
American,
much,
yeah.
I remember when I was in Poland, and this guy was like trying to say bye to me. And he was like, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" And he like pointed at me, and I was like, "That's the greatest line ever."
See,
He
It's
didn't
a
even
universal
realize
language.
media
that.
transcends, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in these foreign countries where they don't speak a lick of English, but they're singing American songs.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! That was like the best, and I was just like, "You don't even
Well,
know what that means."
Remember we were at the Coca-Cola factory? And
Yeah.
that, besides the word hello, the most popular known word in the world is Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
No, it is.
Have
I mean,
we Googled it?
we
Have
don't
we
know if we've
fact
done
checked
it. We don't know.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
check
that
it.
can be challenged with
Yeah.
the word "fuck you." No, I swear to God.
The words fuck
Or
you.
just
Yeah.
fuck.
Or just
Fuck. Like they might not even know what that. Like it's I want to fuck. Like they might not know what that means, but they know that word. Like if you're listening to a language, they'll have dubbing.
Yeah.
And they'll be like da 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 fuck.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Like they'll let fuck go by, and everyone's like, yeah. It's a language.
Thank you, Will. Those were really great questions today. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. And
Good
we ended
job,
with a good
Will.
one.
Yeah, we did. That was a great one to end with. Now, so one of the cool things about Ty is that him and I have been part of Leadership Fort Lauderdale, and we've had an opportunity to tour a lot of this city and learn about all the growth and development that's happening. So as we jump into the Sport, Pop, and Fort report, I want Will to kind of head this off with talking about some more growth happening in our city and what we think about it. So take it away, Will.
Perfect. This one I titled as "Here We Grow Again." I like that.
Okay, good.
wow.
Yeah, I do. I
Look
do.
at that.
A luxurious new community, yachts, homes, and shops and offices are coming to the site of Pier 66. Everyone know where that is?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, great.
I love that he looked at me. Everybody know where that is?
Everyone-
I didn't know where it was earlier, but now
Hello,
I
we
know.
want prenup. Yeah, there you go. We want prenup.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Okay.
I don't even know
okay.
that one.
Okay.
So, anyways, the Pier 60 Marina in Fort Lauderdale is actually converting the 22-acre waterfront into a place where full-time residents and even visitors will
Lounge in the lap.
in the lap of luxury.
Luxury.
Basically, what they're going to have is office buildings. They're going to have all these different things that are going to be there. And
It's just gonna be like the main.
what do you think about that?
I think
Yeah,
that's
what are your
a new-
thoughts on that?
So I love those concepts where they're able to integrate, work and play. The Society here on Las Olas and the Main are two buildings that are doing kind of a similar concept.
Right.
At the Main, what they're doing is the front building is an office building, the back building is apartments, the middle has a pool.
See, it's fucking.
And then
I'm
there's-
fine. You guys
there's
just clown.
retail downstairs and a Greenwise. And
Right.
in Society, they've done it the same thing, but they've done it with a Gen Y audience in mind.
Right.
Because they have 3-bedroom apartments where you can like rent out a room,
Okay.
and they'll find you the
a
other
roommate
two roommates
for you.
Yes.
And-
or you can rent a studio.
I
a
would
one-bedroom
not
or
want that.
two-bedroom.
Fuck that noise. No,
It's-
my.
it's-
I
you
got the
could be
worst.
like,
I want a boy. I want to live with a boy. I want to
You
live
know
with a
what?
girl. Like,
No.
I'm
When I
going
was
to customize it.
10 years ago when I was 20,
I'm
I
gonna
would
get a
have loved
snore
that.
who smells. That's what I
Yeah,
would
but
get.
I feel like we're in a culture, right, that
Yeah.
is all about customization. And as a business owner, I have to always be thinking like people.
That's
can
the
get,
next evolution, man.
Right.
And because again, the fact that the building also has 3 floors of co-working spaces,
which is really cool.
yeah.
No, I agree with that. I'm just saying when they select your roommate, I know I was gonna be like, I'm gonna drink his shit. Give it to me. I'll give it.
You're not contagious anymore, right?
No, whatever.
He does not have
Even
the
if it is,
coronavirus.
alcohol can. Oh, did we
kills.
just?
Alcohol actually kills it, right?
Yeah.
So no. The point being is
No.
No.
the Maine and society are doing the same thing, but for
Yeah.
2 different generations.
That's pretty
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I mean, I think, going back to the marina question, the first thing that comes to mind for me is like, we're going to be as big as Miami in maybe 10, 15 years. Like,
I think we're gonna do it better, though.
We're growing. I think we're going to do better because there's probably at this point there's a lot more planning and foresight as opposed to reacting.
Yeah.
The only issue is
Well,
obviously the sewage and the pipes and
Right,
the traffic.
which they're fixing. But to your point,
Yeah.
they actually are learning from Miami, right? The mistakes
Exactly.
that were made
They're
in
learning from
Miami.
their fuck-ups.
For example, South Beach isn't growing and driving the revenue that they thought.
Exactly.
Which, as Fort Lauderdale
Do we know why
built,
that is?
I couldn't give you the details
Yeah,
confidently,
Yeah.
but
We don't care. We make shit up, and then you just have to accept it when you watch our podcast.
Fort Lauderdale, though, was built as a beach town, right? So the beach is where they started, but now they've identified and they're getting to rebuild and recreate a downtown based on the best practices and successes of other
Is
downtowns.
it just a beach town, or one of the things here is the yachts? I mean, one thing we're
Yeah,
known for
no,
is the
largest
yachts,
industry,
and that's
right?
one thing. And I'm going to have to say, I've been to Pier 66. I think it's an awesome area.
Yeah.
It's near a bridge, but a lot of the boat shows
Yep,
are there.
yep.
And it was a shithole. Like, no offense. And I don't mean to say shithole like it was ghetto, but I'm saying like shithole like it was like 1960s. It was old. Everything
Right.
was gone. So I think my opinion on this, it's about freaking time.
Yeah,
Like, that
yeah.
place needed to be.
Now, do we know if this is a proposal?
No,
or it's
this
been
is
approved?
actually happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
The hotel closed and they're under renovation.
Yeah, so
Wow.
the hotel closed, and while it's closed, they realized that let's just do this whole thing. I've been there on a networking event.
Yeah.
Just getting in there and getting to the parking
Oh, it
and
was
then
always a
leaving
fucking
was a
nightmare.
nightmare.
Yeah.
And I remember just having to leave an event early, and even though I left early, I still was stuck in trying to get out. So I think them reinventing this whole way they're doing it, going on both sides. I mean, 22 acres, that's a lot.
I think one of the problems, though, and this isn't going to be addressed by that, but like the fact that in the city we have bridges that go up and trains that go by, like what can they do?
No. So here's
about
my
that?
point about that.
Yeah.
That is the one bridge in all of Fort Lauderdale
That
that
doesn't go up, right?
doesn't go up.
Because it's really high.
It's really high. That's the one bridge that they realize we need this shit. I think it does go up if there's a cruise ship, but that's very rare, right? I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I do know that
does.
transportation being a big issue. In April, they're having a transportation summit for the region to kind of discuss how they can
That's awesome.
address
Maybe
it.
Richard Branson will be in on that, Mr. Brightline.
Well, Mr. Brightline. Yeah, there you go. He made his claim, although he doesn't really care that much about
And he is a celebrity.
Brightline.
So that's my topic. I think that's a great thing. I mean, I honestly love when they upgrade and do things like that. It just betters, it's more money coming in, gives people places to go.
Well, it's necessary, right?
And it
You're
is a
building a
necessity.
city, you're adding this much volume, you need infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Will. That was a great topic. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Tay-Tay. Taylor
Oh,
Swift.
I'm ready for this one.
So Taylor Swift just released a music video for her song "The Man" from her latest album, Lover. And it's causing a lot of controversy because it's a controversial topic. So the thesis of the song and also the music video is basically the chorus of the words, or the words in the chorus are, I'm so sick of running as fast as I can, or driving as fast as I can.
Wow.
Would I get there quicker if I were a man? And so in the music video, those men are getting somewhere very quick.
Yeah.
In the music video, she is dressed up as a man and being very stereotypically male.
I think obnoxious is the word.
And so we just kind of wanted to throw this out there on this whole gender conversation about that she is obviously trying to provoke. She wants people to have this conversation.
Right.
She wants the controversy. So I wanted to
she's getting
see,
it, yeah.
and she's getting it
Yeah.
because we sat around and watched it last night, talked about it, for like almost 2 hours last night. We've talked about it.
Yep.
So I wanted to kind of throw this out there and see what everyone thinks about this specific situation. We'll start with Ty because you're our guest.
Right.
So I would not have ordinarily listened to this. However, we talked about it last night. I did listen to it and saw the video, and there were two different reactions. When I listened to it, I get it. It's a pop song. It's meant to be relevant. What's relevant now? Me Too, Harvey Weinstein, all of this stuff. So she's trying to, playing on that stuff. And then you see the video. And the video, parts of the video, I think, talk about being an entitled white man. And then parts of the video, I think, is just about men. I don't think it's necessarily her saying, I'm Taylor Swift and I have it hard. I think it's her saying, in general, men have it easier than women.
Okay.
And do you agree with that sentiment?
I think that as a society, we have certain things that are in place where men may have a more, an easier time or an easier set of access, or just an easier way to get things done.
Okay. And what do you think about that?
Okay, so I have a little bit of I've made my notes, and one thing I always want people to know is I have 4 sisters, and that doesn't mean like you can say whatever you want. It's not like, I have a friend that's whatever, and I could say this word. But I'm being honest. I have 4 sisters. And I have no brothers, and I've seen the shit that they're going through. I've seen my sister get paid less. I've seen them not been taken seriously, and I've also seen them disrespected. One of my sisters went for a job, and she had a master's degree, and all of a sudden they said she doesn't have enough experience, and then somebody who had no experience at all got the job over her. So I completely understand where she's coming from in this. But this message, I feel, is it's sending the wrong message to women. And that's how I take it. When I listen to this song, I think they're basically saying that if you're a man, and this is, again, my opinion, is that they're saying if you're a man, you do not it's like you won't make it. You're going to struggle, and you're going to have a hard time. If you're not a man.
Right.
If you're a man, you're going to make it.
Right.
Sorry, yeah. And my biggest thing is like, I remember a long time ago when I was watching a commercial about Nike, and they had that song, Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better, and they had like Mia Hamm, and then they had these basketball players playing against Michael Jordan, and they were showing that if you worked harder and you do all this stuff, you are better. You can be faster.
So what you're saying here is that was a very empowering message, right?
Exactly.
And this message, I feel, and I agree with you on that, it's more of a victim message.
Yeah, and it's
as opposed to saying, okay, I'm a woman, I may have certain things tougher, I'm going to step up to the plate, which she is the epitome of that, because she's valued at $360 million. She's one of the most successful, 2 Grammy Awards for Album of the Year. Like, she has blown through the roof in a lot of ways. And I understand she might be speaking to a certain segment who doesn't feel powerful, but I don't think there's anything empowering. In fact, I think it's very disempowering.
Exactly. So here's my point. Is that I want you to think of this, and this is why I want everyone to understand that if I had a daughter, or if I had my sisters who would be like, what's a song that I would want to listen to help them, motivate them, drive them to get better in life, this would be a song that I'd be like, do not listen to this song. Yeah. Think about songs like Beyonce, who has I love this song. I think it's awesome. I think it's great for women. It's like, who runs the world? Girls. Like, that's right. Empower them. Say that, you can run the world. You can do whatever you do, kill it. Think about No Doubt. A long time ago. She had I'm Just a Girl. And basically she was saying, people say this, people say that, but you know what? I'm not going to listen to it. I have a couple more, so before you. And then I have Independent Women. Okay, by Destiny's Child. That's another one. That's empowered. That's saying like, hey, listen, we can rise above all this bullshit, which I think is awesome. And then the other one is Good as Hell by Lizzo. I mean, basically saying, I don't need you. I'm going to do this on my own. I love the hair toss thing, like hair toss and walk out. But my point is like that is saying I don't care what the men are saying. I don't care if they're trying to put me down. If you want to make more money, if we want to make more money, we're going to do it, and we're going to rise above. And I think the women have come a long way, and I'm supporting them. I mean, I'm on Women's Council. I go to these events, and I think that is the message that I just list that they should have.
Right.
This song is... This is not.
You feel like it's we're going backwards with it.
Yeah,
so what are your thoughts on that?
Here's the thing, though, and I think this is where we landed last night. Those are all really great. This is not the first combative song that's going to sell because it sparks a fire in people. This at the end of the day, Taylor Swift got those 2 Grammys, by getting media attention, by putting out stuff that's media that sells in the media, by getting people to buy it and talk about her stuff. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Right.
Right? It's a job. And
I
she's
get
selling
it, but,
a product.
But what she's also
Right.
saying, though, is she's also saying that, like, I did not work to get to where I was.
I think what's happening here in the song,
and that is not a message
and
I think you should
I
be
think
sending.
in the video and the song, the song has one message, but I think when she in the translation from song to video, it became even more about fuck men.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think part of the message with the movement
Yeah.
of feminism or whatever these days is fuck you if you're a man.
But here's the reality. You guys have to understand that this is a business. All of this stuff is
No,
driven
I get
by...
that. No, I know.
Totally
We're not
get that.
talking about the business part.
Totally
All of
get
this
that.
stuff is driven by data. The fact that there's a lag time between the song and the video means that somebody tested this song out and found out that people would respond well to a video like that.
Right, I
And a
totally-
video
We're
was
talking
produced.
about it.
I
Obviously,
totally,
I agree.
I totally agree that it's a calculated business move because she's a very smart
Yes.
businesswoman, but she does the same things that I feel she's saying, like she's a hustler, right? Like
Right.
she,
Yeah,
and
she's
there's nothing
endorsing
wrong,
her hustle.
there- and
she was the director in the chair.
exactly, but she's then saying like it would have been easier had she been a man in her position.
Compared to, another male artist who's bigger and better than her, Prince, he had it easier than she did, is what she's saying.
Yeah, but I just listed Beyonce, and she's killing it. And I listened to her music, and I think this is awesome. And what she wrote
And I'm sure
was a
Taylor
different
and Beyonce
message,
are
though.
friends.
Well, her
So
message was different.
what you're kind of saying is it's all just a cynical business move.
It is all
No, I
smoke
know
and
it was a
mirrors.
gameplay. I know it was. I get it
Yeah.
because we're all talking about
This
it.
is
and
all,
I
let's
think
drop
that's
some shit in the
But I
water
guess what
and
I'm
see
thinking
happens.
about is like, what are we talking to the younger generation about?
Exactly.
Are we
What message
raising
are
a
we
generation
sending?
of women that are going to be resentful and feel like a victim, or are we raising a generation of women or men who are empowered?
A
That's
more
why I-
ethical question could be, do you know the power of the song that you're putting out and the influence that you have on those types of questions? that are
Well,
being
I don't
asked?
think
on
she cares.
women and then on boys
Well, that's
too.
the
and
question.
on-
I don't
If
think
she
she
doesn't
cares.
care,
I
then
think
I'm
she's
like,
thinking about herself
That's
in that
almost
song.
tantamount to terrorism.
So you, I don't know if it was you who said this, but there's a Monopoly game.
Okay, yeah.
You wanna talk about the
Yeah,
Monopoly
I'll talk
game?
about the Monopoly game, which, again, I have a different spin on this. There's a Monopoly game where it's like Miss Monopoly. And they're creating this whole Monopoly game where they're saying that if you're a woman, the rules are, if you're a woman, you get more money in the beginning. If you will not go to jail. If you cross go, you get more money.
Than if you're a man playing.
Than
the
if
game,
you're a man
boy
playing
the game.
Now, the thing is for me personally, listen, I think having a Miss Monopoly, I think that's awesome. I think saying things like, hey, whatever, the things that women created and what they've done in their life, I think we should always show that. I think it's awesome for girls to see that, hey, listen, it's not just a man's world out there. But giving, like, for me,
The message of
the
if
message
you're a
is
girl,
like
you're
women
going to
need
get
more money. Women need more money to win the game. Bullshit. First of all, my sister kicked my ass in Monopoly. She didn't need extra money.
Yeah.
I got destroyed by
Right,
my
it's
sister.
like-
But it's like, basically, it's just saying, like, I think that's, again, sending the wrong message. I think women have come a long way, and I love this fight that they're going through about getting equal pay or even getting more pay and all that stuff. And, I think that this is... The message that they're sending is wrong in that sense, and that's my opinion.
It's interesting you say that, right? And I hear your story, Will, and I come from a family with two sisters as well and
Okay.
a single mother, and
Oh,
so
okay.
I absolutely know where
Me
you're
too.
coming
A
from.
single mother raised me.
However, I think that the message that companies are sending with games like that is just that it's an awareness that women are not equal to men today, right? And society has not allowed that.
But why
we've
announce
evolved-
it like that?
Well, you're right. The delivery
So I
method,
tip
as
the
we
scales
understand,
all the way the other way and
Yeah.
say
the delivery method and how is often tricky because people are new at this. They're just trying to figure it out.
trying to handle this.
But
Right.
the what is still a problem, right?
No, it is a
This is
problem.
a man's world. Men have built this world. Women only within this century or the last century have gotten the right to vote, the right to be considered for jobs, the right to be equal in certain things.
It's really important, and they should be continuing to grow. Which
But
I personally,
they're still
yeah.
they're still disadvantaged though because they didn't have the 300 years before,
Right.
where they had that opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think this is a great discussion. We'd love to know what you think about this, so please sound off in the comments about the Taylor Swift video. If you haven't seen it, we'll also link it as well, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
And ending, again, I just want to make sure that people understand that this conversation, that all three of us want women to have more
We don't
than
need to
equal pay.
qualify that. I mean, I think
I
you
want
know?
to, because I don't want anybody to misunderstand what we're saying in the sense of, like, I want to see women rise above. I want to see them. I want to see a woman president. I want to see the
You wanna see a
CEOs.
woman
I want to
treated
see the
equally.
best
Equally.
person
Yeah.
for whatever job there
we
is
should be
get that
treated as-
job.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
because of they're gay, president, they're gay, they're a woman, whatever it is.
Right.
They're black, they're white, they're
But
yellow,
I just want to make
whatever.
sure that they understand that. I just think that the song that we're talking about sends the wrong message, and I just want to make sure.
So
that
again,
that's
it goes back to the what is right, but the how is
the message.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Whatever.
Cool.
Wow, that was awesome.
Interesting discussion, I think it's good that we're talking about these things. I think a lot of times men feel like they're not allowed to have an opinion about this stuff, but I think it's art.
Yeah.
So when you put art out there, everyone should be able to have an opinion, and this is our world as well, so we should be able to talk about the messages that are being put out there.
Awesome.
Let's talk about upcoming events. Speaking of
Yay!
messages
Speaking
and
of
putting
messages.
yourself out there.
Yeah, perfect.
Let's
As
do
you
it.
know, Man About Town is things that I like to recommend people to go to. I've seen a lot of people lately come to events and be like, hey, I'm here because of what you mentioned, so I'm going to just keep throwing these things out.
He's so significant. Isn't
know,
he
right?
has such
Yeah.
an impact?
Yeah. keep coming, and keep telling me, and I love to hear it. It makes me feel good. So this actually is more about getting your networking done this week. Get it done early, because when we release this, obviously it's going to be you're gonna be able to go to events Sunday and Monday, and I know Ty, you have an event you want to talk about. March 8th, which is when this releases today. At 3 to 5 on Sunrise Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, Jared and Javier Gonzalez, the owners of Social Pause, has their grand opening. It's
called Social Pause.
Pause, like for dogs.
Pet pause.
Paw,
Cool.
yeah.
What is it?
It's like almost like those doggy hotels.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
It's right on Sunrise. They're great guys. Dr. Gonzalez is a vet, and he does an amazing job. He's on 17th Street, actually real close to the pier where we were just talking about. Pier 66. So my recommendation, if you're going to go to this event, there is it's even though it's Social Pause and it's for pets, I would recommend, it's a little bit of a classy thing. It's a grand opening, so take it serious. Respect the owners. I would say, a polo or a T-shirt or a button-up with a suit jacket and jeans. Jeans are okay for this event. You don't have
So
to
you
be
can strike that balance between being
Or a
too
vest.
formal, but having a little bit of street in there,
Yeah.
and more casual.
Right, but
there's-
show
you're
respect when you go
dressing
to
it
an
up.
event. That's one thing I always tell people. Show respect. So people always ask me like, "Oh, wait a minute, but is this really dressy?" It's not about being dressy. It's about who is putting this on. And if you're coming in like sweatpants and just a
no.
T-shirt,
Tank top.
or if you're wearing this,
Don't go to that event.
don't go to that event, because it's disrespectful to the owners, and
Of course,
and the
it's
people.
also the
put it.
impression you're leaving.
Exactly.
100%.
And so another event that is coming up that I want to talk about is March 9th. There's a golf tournament mixer at the PGA Tour store in Plantation. It's for Gilda's Club. There's going to be a big golf event coming up, and I'll talk about that later on down the road. But this is just to kind of get there and mixer, get to know people from Gilda, get to know other people. There's a lot of people that are going to be there. If you love golf, go there. If you don't love golf, still you can go and get your free drinks and free little
Now,
apps.
what would you wear to this event?
Now, this is something that I know people are going to go, oh my God. I would recommend khakis and a polo.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's
No, I've always said that polos for special events. This is definitely golfing, polos. I would recommend tucking in the polo. If you have your khakis, don't make them too baggy. But this is definitely, one thing about golf I think is so cool, you can be wild. So if you have like pink or green or whatever type of khakis,
Little pop of color.
well, I have to say, you are a pants like guy that gets.
He's a very colorful pants
Yeah,
guy.
he does. He has wild pants, and I think that's always
Wild
great.
pants.
Wild pants.
They call him Wild Pants.
Yeah, that's his new nickname. So my recommendation is just throw on a polo, tuck it in, get some wild pants out there, and get some shoes, and go have fun, because there's going to be some opportunities to golf. There's going to be some great prizes, and it's for a great cause, Gilda's Club, which I am on the board as a director.
Wow.
I-
Why were you looking at me like that?
because you gave me crap because I used to say I'm a director on the board. There we go.
No, you said I'm the board of director.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And
I don't
was
know.
like,
That's how
no,
they
no.
title it. It's weird. But so anyways, but I would recommend going there.
No,
I'm
you
going to be
said
there.
I'm a board of director.
I am a
what you
director
said.
on the board.
Yes.
Good job.
Well, one thing I wanted to ask him about, style-wise, is you have a very European influence style. I feel. What do you feel like? Because you've lived all over. What do you feel like are the main differences that you
Get ready for
find?
me to attack you if you say something.
Oh, we can go. We can go.
No, but it's a good conversation because you have a very American sense of style. You have
Not true.
Okay.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
What would you classify your style as?
Yeah.
More of a. I actually consider myself in different European style, Italian style.
Okay.
More of a what's coming because American style is. It's not that great. I would say, what is Varvatos? John Varvatos? Like his style is a little bit more, he's more rugged and stuff like that. The style that I have you dress up in is more of an American style.
That's
the
right.
style I dress up in
American.
is more of a European style. I would say England, Italy.
But I feel like he's actually more European, the way that I perceive your style, but I could be wrong. So I want to hear a little bit from
He's
you.
a different style of European.
Different style.
No, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually, there's two different types of, like, this is more of a hipster style of European, I would say.
A lot of my, obviously, I lived in Dublin for 4 years, and a lot of my style when I was there was influenced by, what I saw around me, the clothes that were available in the stores that I shopped at, and I just loved it because my body type is, I'm sort of lean muscle, and
Yeah.
and so
I'm lean.
It's just the guy with the fucking bicep. Hey! I can't fit into a fucking suit.
yeah, he's tried to fit into my shirt.
I did last night, and I got a compliment on that shirt. by the
Yeah,
way.
it was skin tight though.
It was skin tight.
But no, because of my shape, I could fit into European clothes a lot easier. But
Right.
what I loved about them was, and the difference with European and American clothes is that it's that fitted, tailored look, right? So all of my suits hugged my body, and my
Right.
pants were close and fitted.
Exactly.
That would not have flown in America. I mean, Americans like a little bit more of a straight fit. They've moved. I think we've gotten a lot better from the
We've
box
gotten to the slim.
suits that people typically wore. They
Right.
still exist. I've seen them today.
Oh, I know. Boot cut's still out there. Wide
Yep.
legs are
And-
still out
but
there.
even jackets that are like fucking, they hang on you and they don't actually fit you.
Exactly.
Those are traditional American wear. But again, we're moving more and more into a more tailored fit. We're not quite there yet. But my style is colors, patterns, fabrics, and just the
Yeah,
body
I mean,
type.
I think the thing is like whenever I'm with an event with either of these guys, like he always looks great, and you always look great, but it's very different, like style sense, very different fashion capability that I just really enjoy.
Yeah.
To see.
No, I see. The thing is also depends on who you are. I mean, like
He always looks like Ty.
yeah, but that fits your personality. It fits
Yeah.
you. It's wild. You've got this.
Wild pants.
You'll hear his laugh. Like I said, he's got like out of the top.
Oh yeah, we talked about your laugh on the podcast.
Yeah, we have the top two laughs. If I was to be like one or two, David Diaz has got you
David
beat.
Diaz has an amazing
Yeah,
gregarious
so he's
laugh.
number one,
Yes.
and then number two is you. Actually, you're number two on the laugh
Because
scale.
he's been
I
ranked
would
on
like
your
that
laugh
to be
scale.
And then he
published.
was wondering where his laugh was, and I was like, you didn't make
even
the
register.
You're not even on the top 10. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's like,
Can we
doesn't
get
even
that
make it.
published somewhere? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I will.
The best Mr. Wild Pants himself, the best laugher in Fort Lauderdale, right here.
But the thing is
Second
that,
best, actually.
the second,
right.
number
Second
two
best.
but he agrees.
Number 2 of 40, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So my point is his style fits him, and that's what you have to do. You have to find a style. If I was to try to do that, I use David Diaz as an example. His style is very wild, and when people see both of us out,
Very colorful.
but when they see both of us out, they're like, that fits you, and that fits you, and that's what I think is
and there's
important.
consistency as well. Like, you always wear a jacket with a pocket square. You're known for your pocket squares. David Diaz will always be in a jacket, and he has so many of them.
Yeah, bright jackets, very
I've
wild.
developed this sort of affinity for T-shirts, and I
wild
wear them in a
pants.
professional setting with wild pants.
And I'm kind of starting to develop what my style is
Yes.
based on us been working together.
And I think it looks, and I think it's awesome that you're coming to people and you're asking, because I think if you have that attitude, like I just do what I do and I don't care, you do care. And I think if you're gonna go out, and we've had a few where I haven't gone out because I haven't felt comfortable in what I've been wearing,
like
because
last night.
like last night. and the night before.
Well, you know how they say, when you get a plate of food in front of you, people eat with their eyes first? People get an impression of you with their eyes.
Exactly.
You want to make sure you're giving the best impression that represents you.
Exactly. And if you're not comfortable with it, fix it.
Yeah.
So just to recap, what are those the dates for those events?
Okay, the dates for those events are, so again, Social Pause grand opening is going to be March 8th, and then the golf tournament is going to be March 9th, but I do not want to forget about Ty's event.
I think Ty's event's going to happen before this is out, but
Right.
you can at least tell us a little bit about the Handy Prom and what you're doing with that.
Great.
Oh, that's
segue.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
No. So my event would have happened
got
on Thursday.
Exactly.
And it was a fundraiser
Thank
for
you.
Handy. With partnering with Penfolds Wine, they donated 5 wines.
How did they taste?
Oh man, they were amazing.
Oh, they were so
One
good.
of the bottles.
going into the future.
One of the bottles was $799.
Holy shit.
And
Yeah.
Ty is so amazing. He let me go to this event for free to
Well,
help him work the event.
In fairness, he worked the event.
Yes, I worked it.
He had to help pour.
I'm
the wine.
going to need an outfit. So I already had an outfit. The outfit was great. Anyways,
But
so
no, it was a
tell us what
fundraiser
the
for
cause
Handy.
is. Yeah.
And what Handy is Handy's an organization that provides support to kids from 5 to 25 years old who are dealing with everything from the juvenile justice system to homelessness, LGBTQ issues. They could be facing, it could be things as simple as they want to go to, they got accepted to college, but they need a parent or someone to take them and help them
Right.
outfit their room and their dorm. Handy steps in and supports in these roles. So it's a great organization. Anything youth and young professional is dear to me because I have a foundation for youth and young professional that help emerging market young professionals get ready for the developed world. And so this was a charity, a cause that I decided that I wanted to throw my support behind. And, we had this fundraiser so we could raise money for their prom court, which is happening on April 4th.
Right.
And we will put a link to donate as you're raising money.
Yeah.
We will put a link in this video. So if you guys heard something you just liked, we'd love for you to donate. It's for a great cause.
Or
And
buy
I wa-
tickets to prom. If you
And
you
one
can
thing
buy
I want
tickets
to,
prom.
and I want to say something about Handy is because I was at their grand opening for their new building, and I know a bunch of people who actually have been that started to go to Handy, meaning that they were one of those children that didn't have the opportunity that everyone else did have, and to see them where they are is huge.
Yeah.
And one thing about Handy is the money that you donate for them, it goes right to them. There's a lot of I don't mean to bash something, but like Red Cross. Everyone talks about Red Cross. You donate money. Where's the money going?
There's a large chunk of administrative costs that are taken out.
Handy, the money goes right to them. And just to be able to help children who might not have that path, because, let's be realistic here. Like, if you are in a world where you don't get the opportunity to go to school, or you don't get the opportunity for somebody to actually say, hey, you're doing a great job, you're going to be somebody, they're going to go on the path that's going to make them whatever they think is right. So Handy is huge, and they've helped so many people, and I just want to make sure that people understand that if you can donate to Ty, donate to Handy, definitely do that.
Thank you, Will.
It's important as, in the BROxFire podcast, and that we're going to segue into Go Pro, bro. It's important for you in your society and your community to give back in whatever way you can. If you don't have the means to donate, spend your time, go visit
Help.
one of these.
They want help.
One of these charities. There's a lot that you can do to give back to the community that's given a lot to you.
Yeah, they think that people think that you need money. Oh, they always need my money. No, actually, sometimes they just want you to help.
Your time and your
Yeah,
your
if
effort.
you're just there to volunteer, that's actually better. It's called, what do they call it? I forgot the name of it. I just lost it. In kind.
In kind.
Yeah, in kind. If you're just donating something in kind, that's more than actually just giving money, because they need people no matter what the nonprofit is. Gilda is the same way. Gilda needs in kind. They need people to just show up, help out, donate their time, and that's important.
So, speaking of being a pro bro,
Yep, I'm excited about
We're
this.
going to talk a little bit today about business coaching and the value of, if you are an entrepreneur, or even if you are somebody who wants to get to the next step, the next place in your career, how it can be useful and helpful for you to have a business coach. Now, Ty actually has a business coaching company. So Ty, why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how you got started in business coaching?
No pressure or anything. No, I just want to let you know, when I was looking at my phone, I was actually pulling up my, because I took the test.
took your test,
and I wanted to bring up what I
having
am.
us
Results.
I want to pull up my results.
I'm sure you remember them.
Yeah. No, it's good that he has them. So I spent the first 14 years of my career working for a corporate Fortune 100 company, and they were the ones who introduced me to understanding the need to understand who you are to be a better manager, a better leader, a better part of the organization. And so while I was at American, we took this assessment called Strengths Finder. Now, we took a lot of assessments. It's like every other Fortune 100 companies, they feed you with all these assessments.
Right.
But, this one in particular, I was very impressed with, because when I got my first management job at 23, I took the test and I got my 5 strengths. And I'll tell you about the theory and the concept afterwards. But the reason that this one made a lot of sense to me is because at 28, I was moved to a different country, different job, different part of the company. Everything about my life, where I was different, but my test results were the same. And the premise of this test was that you're born with these strengths. They develop during your formative years, and you cannot change them. Despite what you want to do, you
That's
cannot
what I love.
change them.
You cannot.
They are who you are.
You cannot change who
They
you are.
They are who you are. So for you, was becoming a coach driven out of the need to like give this to other people, or was it something that you, I don't know, like, have you always been drawn to coaching, I guess is really what I'm asking? And
So ordinarily, no. Yeah. I am not a fan of coaching. I don't think that I'm...
Yeah, you don't really like people, so...
No, it's not that I don't like people. I like people who like me.
He despises people.
Unless they like me.
You're a coach, but you don't like people.
You know what?
Talk to me
Actually,
about
you know
that.
what the funny thing is? I found out about Ty is that when he first met me, he didn't think I liked him, and so he's like, challenge accepted.
That's because he didn't like you.
Exactly. So
Well, I didn't like that you didn't like me.
exactly. So that was awesome when I found that out. But actually, when I first met him, I was like, this is a cool guy. I would like to get to know him. But he didn't even realize that.
The
so.
bar was really up here.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
The reality is that my strengths don't point me to coaching in the way that you would normally expect to have a coach, right? Coaches are supposed to be, anybody who comes, they need help. I'm not that guy. I'm not that kind of person, which is exactly why I established the practice that I established. So, after my experience in corporate America, I left corporate America. I went into entrepreneurship. I became a serial entrepreneur. I have 3 organizations now. And what I learned, both the combination of professional skills and entrepreneurship and who I am as a person, I wanted to do something with that to give back to other people,
right.
But I didn't want to give it back to everybody. So during my coaching certification, I worked with this young lady. Her name is Angie Coleman, and Angie was the opposite of me in terms of who she wanted to work with. And when you go through the strengths, there are 2 particular strengths that we had that were very different. She had a strength called developer, and I had a strength called maximizer. Developer can see the spark in anyone and help them get to their full potential. Maximizer tends to only want to take things that are already good and make them great.
So there are 36 strengths, and so
34.
we're talking about the Gallup Strength Finder, 34 strengths. So that was a test you took at American that you then dove into to
Yes.
help develop yourself. Why do you think it's the best test for anybody to develop themselves professionally or personally?
So the Gallup Strengths Finder is based on an assessment that was done over 30 years to understand the leaders in our society. How do they go from being good to great? They didn't study the average Joe. They studied people who are already striving and achieving excellence.
Right.
People like Richard Branson, Oprah, Donald Trump, people who had made an empire or, gotten to a point in life where, others didn't get to. And they looked through and they studied all of these people, and then they realized, okay, there are 34 reasons why these people have done it. And every one of them ranked from 1 to 34, with the top 10 being their dominant strengths, the top 5 being the most dominant in their life.
Right.
And the premise is if you lean into your dominant strengths, the same way you write with your dominant hand, you will have a better experience, a better quality of life. You will achieve greatness. The energy and effort it takes for you to work on taking from something from good to great, if you pour that in something that's not good or you're weak at, as it were,
Right.
the best you can become is average.
Can I just tell you right now, the fact that he says that with his accent makes it even better. Like if I said that with my accent, people would be like, fuck you. But like that's what I love about it. He has that accent where it's like, I'm like listening to him like, holy shit. Like,
So we had an opportunity to take, we both have taken the test.
I have taken the test, finally.
Finally. We're going to put in the notes an opportunity for you to contact Ty if you would also like to take the test and learn about your results. But what are your top 5? And give me a little overview of those.
Okay. So my top 5 are significance.
Ooh, okay, they're going to compare mine. I got mine right here. Go.
Significance, and I'll tell you what they mean one by one, so you're not having. So significance is about someone who wants to create a legacy, someone who wants the freedom to build something, to create something that's memorable and lasting. It's also somebody who is very, very concerned with how they're perceived in society, and as a result, they tend to try to only aspire to people. Because they want to be reflected on as great as well.
Right.
My number 2 is activator. So activator is somebody who, when you have a conversation, they're the ones who are going to go get started right away. They don't tend to sit on discussions. They tend to want to always go and get things started. And if they know where they're going to end up, they can get things done. The third one I have is called a ranger, and that's the ability to seamlessly in your mind move things around. So it's great for event planners and organizers, people who can seamlessly adjust, adapt, move things into place, plan an event, but the event's going chaotic or things are happening. They can just adjust and get things organized and changed around.
Okay.
My fourth one is command. And
surprise.
Command is typically,
Which is my second one.
Yeah.
Command is typically found or identified when there's chaos and people don't know what to do. Command is the person who steps up and takes charge, leads the charge, gets everybody in place and gets everything done. Command is also seen as somebody who has a presence. They walk in a room, you know they're there.
That's right.
Yeah. Boom.
So they just have a presence, and you're either drawn to it or you're intimidated by it. Either way, you know it's there.
Or you fall in love with it.
Or you fall. Well, yeah.
You could fall in love with it.
Some of those things might happen.
Some people are like, I love that person because they command the room.
Yeah, people are drawn to it.
Yeah.
And my last one in my top 5 is maximizer, which is, again, the ability to take things from good to great. It's a purveyor of optimization. So, I will always find the quickest and fastest way to get something done in the best possible way.
And I think what's really cool about these top 5 and what you know about yourself is you know what you're not great at.
Yes.
And he is very honest and open, and he's like, listen, when we're in a situation, maybe it's with rising leaders or whatever we're working on together, right. He's like, I know that you're going to be able to fill in here where I'm not going to be good at these things and vice versa. And being able to know that and have that conversation, it makes things so much more efficient and so much easier because it's not coming from a place of insecurity. It's just coming from a place of, this is who I am, this is how I am, this is how I'm going to react to the situation, here's how I need you to step up and fill in.
But it becomes invaluable on a team because, as long as you have, and we can talk about it after you guys go through your strengths, but the things that I don't have, and I know that are at the bottom of my list because I've done all 34, I defer to LJ or I defer to somebody else on the team who has it or at least can represent it better than I can.
He doesn't defer to me. But one thing I have to say is that, like I said, and we joked around, I finally took the test. And the creepy part, I don't mean to be creepy in a bad way, but creepy in the thing, when I took this test, I'm like, holy shit, this is me. Mm-hmm. This is who I am. This is what I represent. This is how I run, what I do. And I will always be this way. And I really think that that's really important. Yeah. And I think that that's awesome. And when you explain what you are, I've actually never heard your top 5. That's the first time I've ever heard your top 5. And I'm going to tell you right now. Makes so much sense, right? Listen, everyone, that is his top 5 in life. Like when you're like maximizers number 5, I'm like, fuck, it is. You want to take from good to great.
Wait, what was your number 1 again?
Significance.
Yes, it is. And so I'm going to go through mine real quick.
Yeah, go through your top 5.
I just want to go through mine. So.
What's your number 1?
Number 1 is I'm an achiever. Okay, so I'd like to achieve things. And if you want to tell them what achieving is.
So achievers, and this is good to know because a few people will find this out about themselves because I've actually coached a number of achievers in the community and they're like, that's so me! But you all do the same thing and you don't know it.
Yeah.
Achievers are typically people who love lists. They wake up every day to a list, whether it's in their head or on a piece of paper. They've got to have a list of things to do. And at the end of the day, they've got to have things off that list.
Cross it off. I get excited. Honestly, I actually will do this. I will create a list that will start with create a list. Just so I can cross that off and it feels good to be like, I created a list. boom.
Yes, and
So-
sometimes they even do things that weren't on the list, go back, put it on the list so they can cross it off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like to cross things off. It makes me feel good, and it really does. I mean, because what it does is it sets things up as I want to be able to do them. Focus is my other one.
Number
Yes.
two.
Number
So
two.
focus is Will's ability to, despite whatever's happening, always have his eye on the ball, know what the end's going to be, and stay committed to that task.
Like
So
when
what
I
are
ask
the-
those questions, like what
Yeah,
are the
but-
top 3, and I'm like, fuck you,
But
LJ.
I look at it
Go-
like as us doing this podcast, you're so good at keeping us focused on the podcast. And I have a million things to do that you bringing that in helps me stay on track with what
Right.
we're doing
Yeah.
with it.
I like to, and I want to stay focused. So, and it's great to, and again, I want to continue to say that you should take this test. It took me a while.
Yep.
How long have you been telling me to take this
A
test?
long time.
Exactly.
6 months, probably.
Yeah, and I finally took it, and I'm actually wishing I took it 6 months ago. My number 3 is, I think it's blurry, but competition.
Yes. Competition. So
Which is my number 5.
So competition is
I like to win.
an innate desire to better yourself, to always know where you were, what you did last, how you performed, and do better than that the next time. Also, compared to others in your field, you want to do better than them, but not competitive in the sense that you want to outdo them. You want to do better than them because you know that they've now set the bar that you can do better than, or if you haven't achieved yourself, you can get to.
Exactly. I like to say I'm competitive AF. Significance is my number 4.
Yep, significance like me, a desire to...
Tell me I'm
Two of
pretty.
my
Tell
best
me I look good.
friends that I have right now in my life are both need to be very significant.
Yeah, I need
But-
you to tell me.
But one thing you need to know about the test as well is that
Tell me I'm
not
pretty.
all of these strengths are manifested in the same way.
Right.
For example,
Right.
I know that I would prefer never to have a boss again. But Will feels comfortable having a boss as long as they...
Give me just when I need it. I don't. It's the one thing about significance. I think that's why it's number 4 is because I don't need to hear it all the time.
Nope.
But when I do something that I think, and not even I think, but other people think that's like, wow. I just want you to be like, wow, that was a great job.
I know that if I want to get something from either of these guys, I have to make them feel very, very important.
Yeah.
That they're the only person in the world that could give this to me the way that I want it in the best possible way.
Well, I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
We are the only people in the world who
That's
could
right.
do that anyway.
That's
Right.
right.
However,
That's true.
I
That's so
will
true.
say this about significance too. It is a strength that it tends to force you to kind of want to put away or not be around or surround yourself by anything that isn't great. You really only want to be around the best minds, the best people, the best
That's right.
bodies. A little excellence is your optimization.
Yes.
And so the 5th one is what you put it, restorative.
Restorative. So restorative is
Explain that one because that was always the one that I was like, I'm restorative. What does that mean? I have no clue. Dr. Ty?
So restorative is really people who like to fix things. They like to restore, and it could be vintage cars. It could be people who
Not
collect
me.
vintage clothes. It could be people who like to listen and help people with problems. It could be people who are career counselors, but anybody who who has affinity for taking something that's broken and making it better.
I mean, broken is a rough word, but I like if somebody is not like, I'm going to be honest. When somebody walks into my world, if somebody walks in and I see them with the potential of being able to dress nice, or they could be more popular, or they could maybe fix their eyebrows. I don't know. Like, it's like I see people on TV and I'm just like, dude, seriously? You got the square eyebrows. Like, fix
And
them.
you want to fix it for
I
them.
want to tell them. I don't want to fix it for them. I'm not a...
Well, you want to tell them how to fix it.
I want to tell them how to fix it, and it's not in a bad way.
No, it's not.
And that's the one thing that people need to understand is that people always think that when I say something to
Flaws.
them that it's a negative thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, no, I'm like, you're here, you want to be here, and I know how to get you there. And if you listen to me, I'm going to be able to do that. And I believe that 100%. And actually, I've done that for multiple people, and it's actually worked.
Yeah. Well, let me list my top 5.
Ooh, that makes it, yeah.
So-
You're not going to be surprised when you
So
hear
I have
that.
some of them in common with these guys, but there are a few differences because Will actually has a lot of what we'll call executing and influencing strengths.
Yep.
You have a mix of all 4, right?
Nope.
No, so you have mainly...
All influencing, one executing.
He has... Okay, so there's executing,
both the same on that.
influencing, relationship building, and strategic thinking. So my number 1 is strategic. So let's talk a little bit about what that means.
So a strategic thinker is somebody who will always get to the end result one way or another. They're able to think in multiple paths to get to the same outcome.
Yeah.
Totally you.
Totally me.
Totally fucking you.
You know, and I think it's also being the ability to see sort of like where the pieces are on the chessboard, and like you're saying, like, okay, this could work, but that could also work, and being open to the possibility. It's not so rigid that it's like, this is the way that this has to happen. It's like, no, we're going to get here, and there's a couple different ways we can go about that.
Yeah, and chaos is not something that will crush you or spirit.
Which goes into my second, which is command, which, as you're saying...
Yep, when in the midst of chaos, command steps up to the plate and leads the charge.
And
it's funny, what's the name of the guy on the picture outside?
The commander.
Exactly.
So we have superheroes that represent the brand, and one of the superheroes may or may not look like me.
It does.
And he's called the commander, and it's so funny because that is before he even took this test.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought was funny.
My strength is coming out in the name of the superhero. My third one is individualization, which is a relationship building skill, which neither of you guys have.
Nope, I don't give a fuck.
which is good.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
No, actually, you're absolutely right. Nor would I want individualization.
No.
Nope. Tell us a little bit about
Don't even want out my top 10.
Individualization is the unique ability to create a very intimate and personal experience with individuals separate to another individual. So LJ's relationship with Will is categorically different to his relationship with me. And he can manage them both simultaneously without anyone, taking more energy or less energy out of him.
And I always thought everyone was like that, but like
no.
you were like, no, like that's not. A lot of people
hear that?
handle,
No.
A lot of people handle everybody the same way they handle everybody, and I understand that.
It's why mass texts and mass emails and those things go out, where people or cold Facebook invite everybody. You are the kind of person who might actually reach out to somebody after you do a Facebook invite and say, hey, I'm having this thing. Would you? Other people will just be like, here's the invite. Why didn't you reply to my invite?
Exactly. I'm that way.
Yeah.
I'm that way. If I send an invite and you don't reply, I'm like, what the fuck?
Or like I've learned that like if we're going to have a conversation, we'll like to have conversations over text sometimes that are like strong conversations. And I'm like, I'm going to send a video.
He literally sent me, at first it creeped me out because I'm like, why the fuck? And then now I understand.
So that he doesn't misunderstand the tone of my text, and it encourages him to also send videos back to me so that we're communicating.
I don't send videos, I send
voice notes.
Yes.
If you ever send me a video, I'm going to delete it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's in that video.
Yeah. Oh, Ty, you'll love whatever video I send you. My number 4 is achiever, like you guys.
No, like Will.
Or like Will. You're not achiever?
It's in number 11.
Oh, out of your top 10.
Well,
and
don't
then
achieve shit.
My number 5 is also competition. So I have the best of the three of us.
There is no such thing as the best combination.
Well,
exactly.
Speak to how rare the order in which these would happen for an average individual.
Right. So it's usually, for somebody to have the same dominant strengths, it's the same top 5. It's very rare. It'd be like 1 in...
Was it 6 million? Was
1 in 3 million. For somebody to have the same order, it'd be like 1 in 11 million.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so bringing this back to coaching or to professional development, this is something, okay, like you may not be in a position to afford a business coach, or that may not be on your table, but being able to take a test like this, which is very inexpensive, and being able to take a deeper look into developing yourself as a bro,
right.
This is an absolutely invaluable thing that you can do for yourself for what, $20, $30 relatively.
And the thing is like, statistically, when you know your strengths and you're able to understand how they work in your career and your life, you will achieve a better quality of life and at least a 9% performance improvement in whatever you're doing. With a coach, you get a 29% performance improvement because it's more focused and more directed, and a 6 times improvement in your quality of life.
Right. So one thing I always like to say, and I know this is just more being funny, but whatever, is like one thing I've learned about this test is like Kevin Hart always says, be you, boo-boo. Be you. Be you, boo-boo. Well, this is the thing about this whole thing is just be who you are. Figure out who you are. Don't try to change it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I've learned is I've actually had to have like a little deep thoughts with Will Fuller and be able to be like, this is who I am. I make a list. I can't change this because if I try to change this, I get uncomfortable.
And it wouldn't be you, right? And I think being a pro bro is about being authentic to yourself. And me having these 5 strengths and owning them and be like, I am strategic, I am command, like I am individualization. It's really empowering because it gives you a way forward, and you're not always like trying to be like, oh, I should be more like this person or more like that person.
Yeah, don't try to
be more like you.
I will tell you.
And
so in my corporate career, when I first got this test, I instantly knew that empathy, which is a strength, was my number 34.
Yeah.
So all I had to do at that point was
I
I delegated things like birthdays and staff appreciations and all that stuff to one person on my team who had empathy.
Exactly.
And she made sure that the team felt encouraged.
She crushed it for you.
She did.
Yeah.
I didn't have to put those things on my calendar.
And it's not
or
like you're an
remind them.
asshole.
No.
It's not like you're like, oh, you're an asshole because you don't care. It's just, it's
At the
not
end of
how
the
your
day,
brain is working.
The whole team felt uplifted at the end of the day. I led the team, and they felt appreciated.
And we've talked about how on my team, Jordan, my number 2 guy, is his top 2 strengths or my bottom 2 strengths.
Right.
So and I didn't even do that strategically.
Yarded.
It was just something that ended up being what it was, but it's so good to know that he has harmony and includer. So he has these really, really good relationship building
Harmony?
Harmony. Yeah, and it's actually such a valuable
He
strength.
is such a jack guy. Like, if you see him and you'd be like, he's harmony. You'd be like, what?
Yes.
Then you meet him and you're like,
Yes.
holy fuck,
He has
he
the
is harmony.
out,
ability.
right?
Yes.
He has the ability to smooth over
Yep.
every situation that you're in. Which in my world, with dealing with multiple personalities,
Or
every
like if
day,
you're not doing a, like, I don't know, plank correctly, he'll be like, you're sucking at this, like, this is how you should do it. Like, that's how he says it. And you feel good about it. You're like, oh my God, I suck at this plank.
I don't wanna
I'm gonna
suck
do
at
it
this
wrong.
anymore.
Yeah, and he says it so nicely to the point where you're just like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But if LJ was to tell you you did it, you'd be like, fuck you, LJ.
sure.
Like, I'm trying my best.
Or
So-
tears, you know. Or tears.
Tears.
right, because my command would come out and be
I
like,
know.
"You're doing this wrong.
This is why you're weak.
This is why, this is why you're complaining to me about you don't have this or this." But Jordan is like, "You will suck, but you will now become less
you
sucky."
suck, but you will have the 6-pack
Yes.
maybe in life if you do this.
Yes.
Sorry, Arden, for doing your accent, but that's what it sounds like. He does say dumbbells.
So if you were, we could definitely consider you. One of the reasons why we had you is a pro bro, right? Yeah. And so what that basically means is that you've decided to take your life to the next level in a masculine way because you're a dude, you're a bro. If you could give any advice to other guys out there who are looking to take it to the next level, what would that one piece of advice be?
One piece.
Not 3, fucking.
Not 7.
But
You know,
just one.
I think it all starts, and going back to the Strengths Finder, it all starts with knowing who you are and what you're good at.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's your foundation. That's where you start. If you can figure out what you love to do, what you're most passionate about, what your skill sets are, then you have a blank canvas to create whatever you
Find
want to
your
create.
lane and then fucking crush
Yeah,
your
but-
lane.
Well, no. Find out who you
You
are.
are. Because think about it. When you build a home,
Yeah.
what's the first thing that gets built? The foundation.
That's right.
So when you're building a home, that's the first thing. No matter what you're doing, the foundation is part. Because if you have a shitty foundation, everything's going to crumble.
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100% on that. Like, figure out where your foundation is and accept it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've
Own it.
always figured out with this. I mean, I was happy to accept it because, like, it lined
awesome,
in everything that I did.
I mean, who doesn't want significance?
No, I know, exactly.
So, Ty, if people want to reach you or reach out to you, how can they get in touch with you to learn about your foundation, to learn about Handy, or to learn about your coaching?
So I have a website.
Okay.
It's
He does.
www.drtyrichandson.com. So drtyrichandson.com.
And we'll put this on the...
And we'll put this on the notes,
Yeah,
but just
but-
so
Yeah.
that...
Or
I just like to
Facebook
hear
or
you actually
Instagram.
say Dr.
Yeah,
Ty.
if you add him on Facebook, it might take a while for him to accept.
It does take them a while. Holy
we
we
actually
talked
had
for
a
a while
fight.
and he finally accepted
I strategically tricked him into because we had both, neither one of us, we had known each other for months. We had both been elevated in whatever positions we were in, and neither one of us had added the other on Facebook. And in my head, I was like, I'm not going to add him. He's going to add me.
Yeah.
And
Well, I'll tell you too. This has been a learning experience for me in this society because coming from a bigger city like Dallas, LinkedIn is where you kind of add your professional contacts.
Right.
And Facebook is for your intimate social contacts.
I do.
but it's very different here.
There,
It's
everything
so
is
social.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is like, and IG I think is more for the personal side. Like
Yes, I share some things sometimes on my
IG is now
Instagram
totally
that I
just
don't.
an influencer toolkit is what that seems like.
Yeah.
But the long and short of it is, I had him to add me first. I won.
Competition.
Well, thank you so much for being our first guest today. We're so happy to have you here. You're such an exceptional guy, and just even getting and sitting to talk to you for the last hour and 20 minutes has been really great. You had so much valuable insight into everything that we've talked about today, so thank you for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
You guys are doing great things, and again, I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and I agree with it. I think everyone can learn from this and understand, learn from you. I know you and I had to sit down, talk about when we broke down all these things, and I was like, oh my God, when I'm walking away, I'm going through all these things in my head. And if you want to just, no matter what you do, if you want to grow in your career, you just want to grow as
A person.
who you are as a person,
A pro, bro.
then this is the best way to do it.
Cool.
That's all I got to say. And I know LJ wants to have the last word.
The last
So
word with
let
us.
him have
The
it.
last word with LJ today, guys, is as evidenced by this gentleman right here. You can literally,
Gentlemen.
the pro bro right here,
In the daytime.
you can do whatever the fuck you set your mind to. There is nobody. Taylor Swift. There's nobody that can tell
Woman
you
or
can't-
man.
Woman or man can achieve whatever the fuck you want. If you decide that's what you want and you go after it with ruthless abandon, you will get where you want to go.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on BROxFire, on the BROxFire podcast. We will catch you next time.
Boom.
Boom. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a superhero. You're a superhero.